When the pilocytic astrocytomas is associated to neurofibromatosis 1, a genetic condition, syndrome, the tumor is usually less aggressive, and we may observe spontaneous regression, as shown in this case. After 1 year of surveillance, the tumor is clearly changing and decreasing its volume, and we do not have any more contrast enhancement. Again, in a subgroup of pilocytic astrocytomas, despite the benign histology, we see metastasis. Metastasis, it's a feature of malignant gliomas or malignant medulloblastoma and ependymomas. We don't know yet why there are tumors that, benign tumors that disseminate. And it's very important to know this entity. Now, this, we estimate around 5% frequency, but we know now that it may be even more frequent than in the past. And what is important that it's not always unfavorable. We observe in our series 5 cases out of 6 who became long-term survivors. We know that this case presents metastasis very early in diagnosis. We would like to know genetic signatures for this subgroup again, because this could be very important for getting new treatments in order to cure, anyway, the cases that may have also a bad outcome. In our study, we have included also malignant gliomas that you can see from this case have a very infiltrative, aggressive attitude, infiltrating the surrounding brains, heterogeneous morphology inside the tumors, and areas of necrosis which indicate malignancy. These tumors represent only 10% of all gliomas in children, but they constitute a significant clinical problem because only 10% of patients can reach long-term survival. And again, as I said before, we also decided to include in our study design the mixed gliomas, the gliomas that contains either glial cells and other type of cells like that contain either astrocytes plus oligodendrocyte, as it's in oligodendrogliomas, or ganglia cell, as in gangliogliomas. And again, the last entity, but unfortunately we only started to biopsy this entity, is gliomatosis, which is a glioma. It's the brain that becomes a gliomas. We only have very few case biopsies, but this is an entity that we don't know which grading, which behavior, etc. But with Samantha, we try to include, and we try to include more of these rare cases.